Hi, English 9, this is Miss Long, and this is the beginning of Unit 6, Session 2. Now, this is the session that begins February 16th, right after that glorious long 4-day weekend that we've had and enjoyed and probably very much needed, especially after the weather's been kind of cold and bitter and snowy. It's always nice to get a good break in there. Part of pacing ourselves through life, pacing ourselves through the semester. So I hope you've had a really good 4-day weekend. It kind of provided a little bit of a natural break for us between Unit 5 on night and Unit 6 on the extended definition essay. And last week you got a little bit of your feet wet with this setting the stage discussion where you talked about disagreements that maybe you'd had with your parents or a friend about what different terms meant. And there were some really great responses on there, and I liked the way that you supported each other. I had one of those moments as a parent myself this weekend, one of those concepts of, well, what do we mean by this term? I got into a little discussion with my 8-year-old about the term enough. Basically, what constitutes enough time on the video game that he prefers, which is obviously Minecraft. So we have that same definition issue that many of you guys have with your parents, different topics, but what does enough mean? What's enough time for my game? So the definition essay is along that lines, that there are some terms that we need to define more carefully. And those terms you're going to look at models for and consider in session 2. So let me just walk you through real quickly what we're looking at. It's a 4-day week. Here's a suggested schedule for you. Just a reminder that conferences are coming next week. This is a sign that our grades are getting to us, that we're getting to that 6th week mark, and your grades are really starting to get set in stone a little bit more. Nothing set in stone until May, but we're definitely well into the semester at this point. I do encourage you to attend parent-teacher conferences, and I think Miss Sophie Arzrianda had the policy of giving extra credit for attending your conferences or having a parent come and attend the conferences, and that's something that sounds like a great idea to me too. So I will go ahead and honor that with her with extra credit if you attend that. So more on next week when we have the conferences. Speaking of extra credit though, if you didn't get organized for the work ethic bonus in Unit 5, here's your second chance. It's going to go unit by unit, and you have to participate each week for that session, but session 6 is a new start. Now, I will mention that Colton and Keaton and Carly all succeeded in getting 3% of points added to their grades as extra credit. You'll find that this helps your grade with a little bit of a boost and helps you get organized. So I encourage you to look at the templates here, create a schedule for yourself for each week. And this is the first session for Unit 6 since the last week was kind of like a little mini introduction. So go ahead and do that. You're going to continue journals through Unit 6, and since you're focusing on another kind of genre writing, I'm going to probably largely give you free writing topics. So if you don't have any idea what to write about, there are some topic ideas that you can check out. But if you have something that's on your mind and you want to just write it out, this is your chance to just write for the sake of writing, write for the sake of knowing yourself, write for all the good purposes that we write for. So pick a topic, write for 20 minutes of sustained writing, and submit that for your journal. Now, in the unit on the extended definition essay, we are looking at how words are added to our language by looking at different words that have been added basically based on changing circumstances. So for my video gaming son, he would always say, "Chillax, Mom." Well, chillax wasn't always in the English language, but it's been added. Or I might talk about a screenager who is constantly on the screen, a teenager showing that interest in computers. All those kinds of new words get added based on circumstances in our collective societal life. So we're going to take a look at some of those in this part of the unit and the session, and post an interesting word and some commentary about it. Try to define that new word with details, examples, experiences, negation, meaning what it's not, or comparisons. So this will be our first discussion. Then we will dive into looking at actual mentor texts, definition essays that you can model from. You're going to read at least 3 of these: Large, Soldiers, What is this thing called love? Great follow-up for Valentine's Day. What is home? What does it mean to say, I want a wife? What is a wife? And this is kind of an interesting historical piece. And then caught in the net, meaning the internet. Good examples for you of what a definition essay is. So then you'll use those 3 essays that you've read to try to figure out what the type of writing is, what the genre of writing is, with an always, sometimes, or never chart. What do those essays always contain? What do those essays sometimes contain? What do they never contain? And if you'd like an example of what kind of chart this might be for a different genre of writing, here's an example of what we're looking for. But what are the things that makes this type of writing different from memoir or persuasive writing or other types of editorial writing that you may have done in the past? So you'll use it for that, and then you'll also pick one of your essays to be a touchstone text. You'll stay in touch with that essay as you write your own paper later in the unit. So, and that's going to be actually next week. So you'll pick one of your essays and you'll analyze it in a little bit more detail. What are the details that explain the concept, large, or what is a soldier, or what is home? And you'll look at the organizational pattern. How does the writer hook the reader? Look at the thesis, and you'll look at whether or not you really understand this genre. And that will be the last assignment in this session. Now, next week and the week beyond, you'll be writing your own extended definition essay. So I encourage you to really dive into this and use this to understand the genre so that you can have a better experience writing one. I think you'll enjoy this because you get to choose a topic that's relevant to you, and it often becomes a good conversation with your classmates. So I'm looking forward to seeing your products. I hope you have a fabulous week, and if you have any questions, message me or call me. Have a great week.